I set a challenge for you to make a 3D project and then to post up your creations on my Facebook page. However, it occurred to me that I really hadn't given you guys enough time, because 1 week really, by the time you may have seen the video and then sort of thought of something, and then you may be in amongst other projects as well, it really wasn't giving you enough time. And I'm sorry, that's my fault. It's the first time I've ever sort of posted a challenge, so I apologise for that. So what I've decided to do, and I know some of you have already posted some projects up, so I really appreciate that, is to extend the deadline to the 21st of November. So that gives you another 2 weeks from now. So it'll be 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time that it will finish on Sunday the 21st of November. Okay, so that gives you a bit more time to come up with something. The other thing I wanted to say was I'd already said that I don't mind what the project is, whether it's using the Cricut, not using the Cricut, whether it's a card, anything. I mean, I noticed that there was a lovely notebook gone up from Vivian, and even a little jewellery box. So I mean, there's all sorts of things you could do. So, you know, just use your imaginations. It doesn't have to be, you know, just a box or something like that. It could, as I say, it could even be a card with decoupage on it or whatever. So it really is very open-ended. And the other thing I just wanted to clarify, because Vivian did raise this question on Facebook, was, you know, could she submit more than one entry? Just go for it. I mean, I don't mind how many entries you put in. I will take your name and put it in the box. So if you put in more than one entry, then you've got more than one chance of winning, because I shall put in, for every entry that you put on my Facebook page, I will put an extra one of your names in the hat, as it were, ready to pull out. So the better the chance you have of winning. All right, so I thought while I was here, rather than just talk about that, I would just show you another project that I'd been working on, which I've nearly finished. So it was just really a talk you through one. Now, I think you saw, if you've been watching my videos, you would have seen that I did a Christmas card house mouse video a couple of times back, and this one is actually a pre-coloured decoupage, so you just need to cut all the pieces out, etc. It's not a die cut one, which was quite fun. I haven't done that for a long time. I quite enjoyed it, actually. These days you seem to always buy them ready die cut, so it was quite fun to actually cut them out. So what I did was I'd made up this actual image, and I'd used my pin flare glue, and I don't know if you can see, but it's slightly curved just to give it a little bit of dimension, rather than just being, there you can see just there, I think a little bit better, rather than being flat. I wanted it to be slightly curved so that it looked quite real. Well, as real as two mice getting married could look real. Anyway, so it had been sitting on my desk. I mean, I don't know if you can see here, I've got a couple of other pieces that I put together using my pin flare glue, and as yet I haven't sort of made them into cards. Quite often I do that. I make the sort of 3D decoupage pieces up, and then I sort of leave them on my desk and sort of wait for some sort of inspiration. So what I've done with this card was, originally I was thinking, oh, I'll put it on the front of a card and that'd be quite nice. And then, just pure chance, I was playing around with one of my CD-ROMs, and let me just zoom you out a tiny bit, and I printed out this dotty paper, and I was sort of going through my pile of sort of projects to be and papers that I'd printed, etc., that just sits on your desk. I'm sure we all have those. And I saw this paper and I thought, oh, that's really nice. I bet that would go really well with my little mice. So it kind of evolved from there. So originally, as I say, I thought, oh, I'll put it on the front of a card. So I got my A4 card and I folded it in half, and I don't know what happened. It just wasn't in half. So I thought, okay, I'll punch the edges off. Only I made a complete hash of that as well, so that was just a disaster. So I just thought, oh, forget it, and I put this back to one side. So then when I was looking through, because I thought, oh, I'll try it again, go through that project again, and I was looking through my papers at the side of my desk and the cardstock, because I quite often have a few pieces of card, pre-folded card ready there, just so I can grab them. And I saw a big pile of these smaller little A6 cards. So they're kind of quarter, well, I guess they're half A4 and then folded in half. Just zoom you out a tiny bit more. There we go. So I thought, so I got 2 of them, like so. And basically all I did was stick them together in the middle. I literally just lined them up, butted them up edge to edge, and I stuck them together in the middle just with a piece of sellotape. And then these pieces obviously would meet in the middle. They were folded and they actually did meet in the middle. So then I put my piece of pink paper over the top. Over the back to hide the join, I used a piece of sort of pearlescent sort of cardstock, and then again on these side pieces as well, just to give it a follow through. And then on the inside I left that was fine. And then I I cut out my blue, because I thought it was just a bit different rather than the regular silver, just to pick up the blue of a flower. I cut out a piece of blue mirri board just to border this, and I stuck my mice onto that ready, using again the trusty pin flare glue, and again set that to one side. I then got a piece of lace that I had, and I thought, well, that would look really pretty if I put the mice at the top, the actual picture image at the top of the page, and then put this at the bottom just to soften it off, and then put my congratulations at a little jaunty angle. And then I wanted to punch along these edges with one of my Martha Stewart punches, but by the time I'd put all this extra board on, I did attempt to try and punch it, and it just made a complete mess of it. So I took my purple cow trimmer, and I took the deckle-edged blade, and I just went along the edge, and as you can see, it's just got that little deckle edge on there, so it just gave it a little ripple on the edge there. So then I did that on both sides, making sure they were even. That took a little bit of effort. I was obviously really not having a good day with measuring and doing things that day. So that I thought looked really nice. And then it had just arrived in the mail, was this sort of like sticky tape. And there's all sorts, and it comes on this reel, and it basically has all different designs on it. And this particular one I thought was just perfect, because it just says on it, love, 2 hearts, etc. So I popped this down on the inside here, just a piece down, and I did it just a bit longer, and then I chopped off the excess. And then I thought, well, I needed to do something on the front, so I did a repeat on the front. And what I did was make sure that they were both each time mirror imaged and facing outwards, but you could do the opposite and face them inwards, but I wanted it facing outwards. So then I took my crocodile, well, first of all, sorry, I measured on the inside, I measured halfway, and then I did 2.5 centimetres each side of that halfway point, and I marked them with a pencil, and I did the same on the other side. I then got my crocodile and just punched the 3 holes, which went through like butter, because obviously, I mean, the crocodile will go through anything. And then I did the same on the opposite side. And then again, using my crocodile, I just put in my 3 little eyelets in silver, because I thought that was sort of matching in. And then, as you can see, I've just got a long piece of ribbon here, and what I'm going to do is lace it up like you would a shoe. So let's do that now, and then you can share with me the finished card, because I haven't seen it either yet. So the nearest thing I can find to a pokey tool at the moment is this little thing that picks up gems, so we'll use the other end and we'll just poke this through. Ooh, can't get hold of it, it's not quite sharp enough. Let's give it a bit more of a shove. There we go, that should be better. There. Okay, now what we want to do is just make sure it's nice and straight in the middle there, so it hasn't got twisted. There we go. So then we're going to cross it over like so, and then we're going to pop this down downwards this time, just again like lacing a pair of shoes. And then just pull the end through. And then I'm going to do the other side the same. Again, just making sure it stays straight. And it is satin ribbon. And although with the white it doesn't hardly show, there is a right side and a wrong side, but it doesn't show a lot, but it still looks better if you do get the right side. coming through, and try not to tangle it. There we go. I'm not doing it too tight yet, just to be able to make it a bit easier to pop it through. And this time we're coming up because it's underneath, so we're going to be popping it from underneath. Like so. And again with this one. Try and pop it through like so. And what I like about this is that although you've got the ribbon there, you can still see little mice coming through. So let's just straighten that one, make sure it's... So now we're just going to start tightening them very carefully, and as we're tightening them we're just making sure that they're nice and straight. There we go. And then it's almost like a little bodice, isn't it, rather than a pair of shoes if you do it carefully. And then a nice, let me just pull you out a tiny bit. There we go. So I'll just do, I'm going to turn it to the side for a minute, and then we'll do a nice bow. I don't know why, I'm always better doing bows around to the side. Now, because I want the outside of the ribbon, the shiny side, to come around, as I pull that round, rather than what you'd normally do is pop this side through the hole, what I'm going to do is twist it as I come round and push the shiny side through on the top, like so. And then you've got the shiny all the way through, and then obviously I've got huge loops here, so I'm just going to again pull those bows, loopsy bits down to the bottom, and then start. I tell you what else we should do really is try and pull it to the centre a little bit, but it doesn't want to go. Little so and so. Let's try not to worry about that too much, because I tell you what we'll do is we'll move it over by pulling this round a little. Cheating. Okay. And then again, let's just get these bows. It is a bit of a fiddle, but I think it's worth it to get them looking pretty, and I think we've got a bit of a twist just there. There we go. There. And of course it would probably be easier for you at home because you haven't got a flipping great camera standing in your way. So I'm peering over the top and it's quite hard to see what you're doing. And then kind of just puff them up a little bit. And then get your nice sharp scissors. Make sure when you're doing something like this, don't cut your ends too short, because when the person who buys the card, just seen a bit of tape, goes to relace it up, because obviously they're going to open it to look at it, they're not going to be probably as good as or bad as you are, so you want to give them enough ribbon that they've got something to grab hold of. Okay, and then obviously something like that you could still keep. Okay, and there we have our lovely little wedding card. Well, thank you for watching, and as I say, the deadline is now extended, so look forward to seeing all your entries, and thank you for watching, and see you again soon. Bye!